Been delivering his first Christmas Day speech as head of the Catholic Church. Addressing thousands in St. Peter's Square in the Vatican, the pontiff called for peace in war-torn countries, including Syria and Central African Republic. Pope Francis was elected leader of the Roman Catholic Church in March, the first non-European pope in 1,300 years. Joining me now live from London is Aaron de Souza from Catholic Voices. Good to have you with us. As I mentioned there, the Pope focused a lot on the need for peace in conflict zones. What sort of influence do you think those words actually carry in those areas?
I think they carry a huge influence. I think the fact that he was talking about just not the crisis just in Syria, but also in, as you said, the Central African Republic, the Israel-Palestine conflict, and also creating more social harmony in the Sudan. I think what it says to us as part of the wider dichotomy of what he's been talking about is trying to get the marginalised in our society into sort of the mainstream, and in these cases, in these places, they are the mainstream. And so for us here in London, who heard his message over television, or in St. Peter's Square, it's a really good reminder for us, especially at Christmas, to, as Pope Francis said, to leave that space at the table for the poor, and to think about the people who are perhaps suffering at this joyful time of Christmas.
The suffering, the marginalised, what sort of role perhaps or difference I should say, is this Pope making to the role of the Vatican?
I think he's made a tremendous amount of difference in the last sort of 8 months, and the thing that I get really sort of transfixed by is the fact he's talking about doing good and going out there and actually putting actions before, you know, the dogmas and rules which sometimes people can get sidetracked by. And every day I've seen in the news, you know, things about he's sort of kissing sort of disfigured men. He's calling people to talk about their problems one-to-one, and I think this is the relationship that he has, you know, with all the Catholics around the world, and I think also all people around the world, in that you just feel he's another human, a friend of yours that you could just talk to and say, you know, what should I do here, and he will give you advice. And of course you feel that personal relationship, and I think that's what's going to be really powerful for these people who are suffering at the moment, to know that they have a friend in the Pope who is always looking out for them and always there at the centre of his attention.
It was interesting listening to his speech. If you look at most of the areas, if not all of them, and countries which he mentioned, they involve people of different faiths. What sort of impact has he had on relations with other faiths?
I think, you know, if I talk from my own personal experience, you know, with my different friends from different faiths, I mean, we're all talking about the same things. And if I go back to sort of the idea of doing good and what he called the culture of encounter, and about if you do just acts of good in your life, you know, if I see someone in the street and I just do an act of good, then it doesn't matter who they are, you're going to feel as if this is what binds humanity, and this is what binds the common purpose. And I think in these places where there are people of all faith, they know that this is not someone who's coming from one angle with one agenda, but someone who's coming from a sort of a human angle with a very human agenda, and an agenda for everyone, not just the few or even sort of one part of society.
All right, thanks so much. It's been good talking to you. Aaron de Souza.
Oh, thank you very much.